Gets down on the inside.
Gets on the inside of Elliott Sadler, moves him up the hill.
Trying to get behind his brother, Rusty.
You know, you're Marco Walker. You can't like seeing this because one of those two lines of cars behind you is going to start to move, and you have to guess which one.
Well, that's why he's doing what he's doing. He's just mirror driving all over the racetrack. Uh-oh.
Oh, trouble! Elliott Sadler over once and a half and on his roof. Now the car tumbling hard onto the pavement in turn 3. Caution is out. A terrible crash.
Okay, man.
Okay, guys, back it down, back it down. We're not racing. Caution's out. See now,
Safety workers already there, yeah.
that's why we don't race back to the line.
That is a record.
Yes, sir.
How fast they got to that car. That's great to see.
The attention already focused on the Elliott Sadler car.
Yeah, we see him taking his helmet off. And they're going to red flag the race.
Yeah, we've not passed the lap yet at which they would not use the red flag. So they're going to stop the field on the back straightaway, and we're going to go under the red flag. Look at the damage to that car. What a heavy hit that thing.
Well, that thing was hitting on asphalt.
Yeah.
Normally we see that on grass, but this was on asphalt.
And for everybody that wonders why they use the carburetor restrictor plates to control speed, it's just for that reason. There's a certain speed at which, when you turn one of these race cars around backwards, it goes up in the air.
You see this area right here above the driver? They call it like the birdhouse. Right here. This area, it looks good.
Yeah.
That's what's protecting the driver, and that really held up well.
There we see the car stopping.
And here he comes out the window.
Now, that's great.
Easy does it. Yeah, don't cut yourself.
Oh, that's good to see.
Guys, he's out.
Scary, scary crash for Elliott Sadler.
Let me get my breath before I take a step.
I'm dizzy.
Let's go back and look.
There he is, right in the middle.
And these guys are Dyson. Go ahead, BP.
And there he makes contact. He comes down trying to get in front of Kurt Busch. They make contact. And watch that thing fly. And there it lands on that road you talked about.
And then when it gets onto the racetrack again, takes another nasty flip. Watch this hit.
That's the hard one right here.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they all look pretty hard.
Yeah, they do. I don't want to be in there in any of them. Man.
Like I said, that car really held up well above the driver.
But you see the hood flopping around and the deck lid, the tethers that NASCAR has these teams installed to keep the hood and deck lid work.
He took the steering wheel off right away.
Yeah. That's unbelievable. He had a crash in practice driving for the Wood Brothers a few years ago in Michigan that looked like that.
And see, that's the problem when you get, like I said, when you start mirror driving, and that's what these guys are doing. They're trying to get in front of each other, trying to make blocks this close to the end of the race. You're not going to give a guy a break.
You know, something I want you to think about as you're watching these replays again. Watch what I think happened is Elliott reacted to Dale Jr. Dale Jr. started to turn left in front of Elliott, and I think Elliott just reacted to that and moved left. And that's when he came across the front of Kurt Busch. I don't think he was trying to block Kurt. I think he reacted to Dale Jr. making a sudden move to the left and just instinctively.
That could be, but I mean, you're still getting a lot of that going on right now that you don't see any other time of the race.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, I mean, you know, one moves and everybody moves pretty much.
Already moving. Steering wheel's off. See, watch Junior here. He moves to the left to block Elliott, right here, and Elliott turns.
Could be.
Yeah, could be.
He could be trying to dodge that 8 car.
Flew in the air a long ways before it hit anything.
And now the banking kicks the car back to the left.
Fortunately, it was down where no other cars hit him while he was flipping.
Didn't take that right front tire long to blow out, did it?
Flip 1.5 times in the air. Then it's going to catch again and start going. Another 3.5 times.
When is it going to stop? You got to be sitting there going, please don't hit me.
Yeah.
So he rolled over 5 times, not counting the time he spent sliding on his roof upside down. Watch again. Junior makes a move to the left to block, and Sadler turns to the left to get off him.
Going board with Kurt Busch. There we see the contact, yeah.
And there you see the car. Kurt's got a lot of damage to his right front right now.
Yeah. And so we're under the red flag.
And Greg Biffle becomes the lucky dog.
Not inside of 10 laps to go.
Okay.
That's one of the nuances of the rule, this new rule, that once we get to 10 laps to go, they don't give the free pass anymore.
All right.
So.
Sorry, Greg.
And we have 6 laps to go in the race, actually 5.5 with where the field is sitting halfway down the back straightaway. There will be 23 cars on the lead lap. And we're probably going to have 4 or 3 laps left in this thing. So it's not over yet. Michael Waltrip is the leader. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Ward Burton, they're all up there in the running for the win in the EA Sports 500 at Talladega. More drama left to unfold here at the world's fastest speedway. Elliott Sadler fortunately out of his car after this scary ride.
Speedway quiet late on this Sunday afternoon, but the race has not ended. We are under the red flag after a violent crash involving Elliott Sadler, who has climbed from his race car. Here it is just a few moments ago, inside of 10 laps to go here in the EA Sports 500. All these drivers trying to go for the win here, and this, the single car incident and a wild ride for Elliott Sadler. Upside down, then the violent snap and the roll. Michael Waltrip has an escape hatch or an alternate exit in the top of his car, the only one using it here this weekend. This might encourage some other people to use it in the future. Last week at Dover, Dale Earnhardt Jr. was involved in a crash. He hit driver's side against the wall, had a slight concussion, was cleared on Wednesday to race. When Dale Earnhardt Jr. got back to the shop after visiting the doctor, he rode to the doctor with his mother, then saw Dr. Petty, then went back to the shop and told the guys at the shop, "You do what you need to keep me safe in the car." So they made a seat change that Jr. had been resisting. These are the pieces that are in his seat this week. This now fits around his head and helps hold his head in place. Junior's wearing a different helmet this week. He doesn't really like the fact he can't see side to side or move his head, but he feels much safer wearing that Bell helmet. He told me yesterday that he still tries to turn his head, but all he does is smash his face against the side of it. It doesn't help to turn it. This holds his head in place. It's stiffer, has a little...
And right now...
Coming to the white flag. 2 2/3 miles of racing left at Talladega. Do they all make it back around? And who's the first one to the checkered flag?
Wow, there's
Tony Stewart. Shuffling Rusty Wallace out of the way. Jeff Gordon trying to block. Stewart trying to find some running room. Stewart up the center. So it's Kevin Harvick in the black and silver car.
Gordon's on the outside of the 8 car.
Gordon tried to jump in front of Harvick and get the push. Gordon to second. Michael Waltrip trying to figure out who to block. Here they come to the final corner and down to the start-finish line. Waltrip's going to have enough. Michael Waltrip will win the EA Sports 500 at Talladega. Oh, crash after the checkered flag. Bobby Labonte turned into a couple others.
Big wreck behind you, big wreck behind you. Be careful, just come on around. Big wreck behind you, big wreck behind you. They are lined up outside of you, buddy, outside.
Bobby Labonte, Kenny Wallace, Mark Martin in a wreck after the checkered flag. Well, he held him off.
He sure did. And that restart won him the race.
It did. I thought he'd gotten too big a jump, but it was just the perfect jump.
And Junior did not abandon.
No, he didn't.
He stayed there with him.
Stayed with him.
You made the call, VP. Matty.
And a handshake and a hug by Junior's uncle Danny Earnhardt. Slugger, congratulations. What a win.
Man, thank you. His teammate helped us out, you know. I tell you, DEI, the other competition caught up with us, and we built a brand new car. Took it to Daytona, did a tire test, got the roof hatch in it. I'm sure Michael will do something crazy with that. You know how he is. But, man, the last 5 weeks have been hard on us. And I told these guys, just stick with us and with Michael, and everything will work out just great. Man, what a deal. We needed it. We needed it bad.
What were you thinking when you saw everybody start to shuffle coming out of 2?
I don't know what to think. I figured we'd run out of gas. I figured we were done. So it's a good team effort. And, you know, when DEI's 1-2 on the track with Dale Jr., it's hard to beat us. You know, they tried. So, you know, we've stepped up. Us and the 8 built new cars. They worked real hard on their stuff, and it's a good day.
DEI's won 9 of the last 12 restrictor plate races.
Here comes the hatch. That's the new escape hatch that they put in Michael Waltrip's car. Of course, with the Napa logo underneath it.
Yeah.
Well, Slugger just said he thought he'd do something silly with
Well,
the
that's
show
definitely
off.
a first.
Yeah, that's the first.
That's perfect, isn't it? Yeah, I know you want me to go to victory lane. High five me first, you know? That's beautiful. Michael Waltrip's second win of 2003, and what a miserable month it's been for Waltrip and this team. Slugger talked about the way things have been going for them lately. Last 5 finishes before today: 42nd, 37th, 32nd, 26th, 42nd. He was 5th in points after Michigan 5 races ago. He fell out of the top 10 for the first time all season last Sunday at Dover. This is the last half lap.
See, Junior still helping that 15 car. He's also trying to run second. He goes up to block the 24 car. And look at this mess behind them.
And wait till you see when they come across the start-finish line. They're 4 wide coming across the start-finish line. See Michael blocking the whole field.
Everything he could. Look at Kurt Busch with the damaged fender right back up in the middle, the 97 car. And now after the checkered flag, keep your eye on the green car, Bobby Labonte. He gets bumped by Bill Elliott, I believe.
But they were stacked. I mean, they were 4 wide.
Big wreck behind you, big wreck behind you. They are lined up outside.
3 rows of 4 wide.
And Bobby and Kenny Wallace got the worst of it. Is that Chevy commercial where they put the donuts on the side of each other's car? How about we make that our Chevy winning moment? Michael Waltrip, today's winner. Chevy congratulates Mikey and the number 15 Monte Carlo. Chevy will tell you. Mikey will tell you. The only thing that comes close to Monte Carlo's reputation on the track is its reputation on the street. More champions depend on Chevy. We'll be there.
Last lap crash, and now the celebration begins through the alternate exit. Only Michael Waltrip would think of that. That's the new escape hatch approved by NASCAR, recommended for use but not required yet in these cars. And Michael Waltrip's the first one to use it. Let me take this towel here. Have a towel. Well, I don't know where to start, but let's start with the final restart. Tell me about that with the 8 behind you.
Oh, what a day. We battled hard all day long. I was afraid about the restart. My car was geared a little higher than I wanted it to be, and I was afraid they'd get a run on me, and that's what Junior tried to do. I fought that one off, and then I saw Gordon get beside Dale Jr., coming off 4, and you know, I had to go for it. I had to go up high and hope that Junior didn't have a run on the bottom, get under me, and come back and block him off. And it was a good plan, but you know, I'm sitting over on the back straightaway thinking, where am I going to put my Napa Chevy? How am I going to position it to make sure I win? And you know, when I drove off, Bill, I said, I don't know. I'll just deal with it when it happens. But real proud for my team, Slugger, DI, the dominance continues. And, you know, today it had a whole lot to do with a couple of guys willing their way to the front, because I think the gap between the haves and the have-nots has drastically closed.
Well, they put you to the back once for that pit road penalty.
Yeah, what'd I do? I don't even know what happened.
The catch can kind of. They didn't want to tell you. It's not important now. You won the race. But you had to fight your way up through that mess, didn't you?
Yeah, and
how was it out there, by the way, with those rules?
And my car was kind of slow in the glob. But if I got in the back and got a run up through there, because the way it was geared, I can make some good progress. And it taught me a whole lot going to the back and coming back up through there. So every time I was a little bit better at it. And I was shocked, just literally shocked, when I was in the front at the end. And it had to do with great fuel mileage, had to do with a great team. I want to thank Coca-Cola, Klausner, Oreos, all the people that make all this possible. Of course, Chevrolet.
I thought you didn't like the gear in this car, because you were really frustrated in the early laps here, weren't you?
I was, but I told them yesterday that in the pack, in the glob, it wouldn't go. But if I got a run on people, I was all right. And I whined a little bit more than I hope anybody heard me, because this place is frustrating, and you got your emotions out on your sleeve anyway, and I was complaining a lot, but I'm thankful to put our Napa Chevy in victory lane. Guess what? Tomorrow is her 6th birthday.
How about that?
Wish her happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And the birthday celebration is in victory lane at Talladega. Marty?
Well, Bill, speaking of